Inside this chicken house, I have about 2,000 layer birds. They are about 62 weeks right now, moving on to 63 weeks. And I kid you not, up to this point, they are laying between 86 and 87% in terms of production. Now that's really crazy because it simply means that they are performing according to expectations. And loads of people say that birds in deep litter are not supposed to perform that well. They say that birds in cages perform better, always do perform better, that you never hit targets with birds in deep litter system like I do. So I guess that we've defied the odds, right? Because the birds are outperforming their expectations. But how on earth have the birds actually managed to perform at this level? How on earth are the birds able to lay this much? You see, these birds are 62 weeks old, and that simply means that they are not children, they are not youths, they're not even adults, you know, they are getting close to the twilight of their years, because at around 80 weeks, I expect to cull them. Maybe they are 63 weeks old. So they have just maybe 17 more weeks and they'll be gone. They'll be done completely. So let's get inside and I'm going to show you guys and give you guys some of the tips that have ensured that we get to this point of laying. So we'll climb and get in, and herein is our first point: biosecurity. As minimal disease interruption as possible, because if you have minimal disease interruption, then you're less likely to have issues with disease. Yeah, so biosecurity, very important. Always have a food dip at the bottom, you know, even at the bottom, you know, the entrance over there. I don't know if it can be seen. Yeah, that's the entrance for the lower floor. There's another food dip over there, so always make sure that your foot is dipped. Then when we get in, okay, so we've gotten inside our chicken house. Always make sure that the door is closed behind you. I don't know how many times I've said that. Make sure that the door is shut, the chickens can't go out. Now these are the birds, and you can see that they are in the twilight of their years. You can see that they have started molting. Let's take a look at this one. You see her back? Yeah, she's losing feathers. So this is molting because she's old. Yeah, if you take a look at a lot of them, they are molting, and that's expected. You don't expect birds that are 62 weeks old like these ones to behave like birds that are 35 weeks old. These ones are older. If you take a look at this one, you can see her neck. Her neck has already started losing feathers. You can see it. So that's going to happen a lot with a lot of the birds. No fighting, no nothing. It's just molting. Yeah. As the birds keep moving and feeding inside in here, they lose their feathers and they molt. You can see one of the birds over there. It's sunbathing. And that's the beauty of having a deep litter system like this one. It simply means that the birds are able to disperse themselves and enjoy normal behavior that chickens do. Yeah, they will fly up. You can see that bird over there. It's up right there. Beautiful. Yeah, that's normal behavior for birds. They like to go up, they like to climb. So we try to make sure that, number one, the birds are comfortable. There is enough spacing inside here. A lot of people keep birds on deep litter, and the birds are congested inside the chicken house. Inside here, there is good air. It's aerated. It doesn't feel stuffy. You can see the sides, yeah? We have enough space for aeration here. And if we go to the litter, if we touch the litter is dry. You can see it. It's dry. It's not wet. It's nice, dry litter. So it means that, number one, the spacing inside the chicken house is perfect. We don't have issues with loads of birds being in one point, because if you have too many birds in one point, it simply means that the floor where they spend a lot of their time is going to get wet and stuck together. Secondly, it means that there's enough feeding space, so most of the birds can feed without loads of competition. It means there's enough drinking space because the birds can drink water, all of them can access water. It means that they have enough space to move around and relax and not be stressed. The other thing is putting enough laying boxes, yeah? Enough laying boxes inside the chicken houses. You can see that our sides have laying boxes over there, yeah? So we have laying boxes inside the chicken house, and it's not a mistake. Some people, you'll find that they have very few laying boxes inside the chicken houses. These laying boxes, you need 1 square foot for every 6 birds. That's just enough for enough space for the laying boxes. So if you have less than that, it means there's more competition for the laying boxes, and some birds are likely to not give you enough eggs because of loads of stress. Also, feed. You need to make sure you give the birds enough feed. Okay, so right here we have our feed. Yeah, you need to make sure you give the birds enough feed. You can see birds all over the house. They are consuming their food. If we zoom in over there, you can see those birds are eating their feed. On the different feeders. Of course, we have other birds that are concentrating more on me, like these ones. They're concentrating more on pecking my gumboots instead of eating their food. Yeah. So while some birds are feeding, you'll have some birds drinking water. I don't know, like here. You see, you'll have some birds drinking water while others are feeding. This is also one of our drinkers. And then you'll have others playing, and then you'll have others fighting, like we do over there. You can see the birds fighting. But that's okay, that's normal, that's understandable. It's simply trying to establish who is who in the pecking order. And once that is done, they'll get cool. Also, you need to make sure that the water is clean. Our bird here is, nicely enjoying the litter, the sawdust, yeah? It's enjoying the litter. You can see it bathing. That's beautiful because that's what birds love to do. I love doing this. That's why I don't like keeping birds in cages, because over there the bird can do what it wants and what's natural for it. Over here you can see our drinkers. These drinkers are washed every day. Yeah, every day, the people will move around with buckets. I've once shared these buckets before. People will move around with buckets and they are cleaning the drinkers, because as you can see, the water gets dirty sometimes. As birds are scratching, like this one over here, some of the dust might spill and get inside, like you're seeing it right now. So if you don't wash it, then they can develop coccidia and get diseases. So you need to make sure that that is done every day. So we have perfect hygiene on the inside here. All the birds are not competing. The workers are very, very keen to ensure that if anything out of line is identified, it can be corrected before time. Yeah. So if the birds are ill, if any of the birds looks weak, if any of the birds looks like it's not feeding well, they'll be isolated. On the outside of the chicken house, we have an isolation room where we keep the birds. You get broody birds, get them out, put them inside the brooder chamber. Not the brooder chamber, the broody bird chamber. It has to be dark. And there are particular things that you do to ensure that they come back to the point of laying. So these birds, despite the fact that they are in the twilight of their years, if we zoom at this, you can see its neck. You can see the necks of the birds, yeah? If we look at them, they look like they're getting old, but they are laying fantastically well. And they are doing really, really well. I'm impressed and I love it. It's really beautiful. So it's very important that you put in place the right measures and practices to be followed, but also that you have the right staff to do the work. You could put in place all these measures, but if the staff are not the right staff, they don't know what they are doing, they haven't been trained, they don't have the right principles, they don't have the right work ethic, everything could, just be a failure. Everything could be a failure. So I'm very glad that we've managed to get to this point, that I can trust the workers on the farm, the people who work for us over here on the farm. I can be absent for a long time. I can probably visit this place maybe once every month, maybe 3-4 days every month. And I'll be away, and I know that when I come back, everything will be intact. Of course, I'm involved as much as possible, but I know that the work is going on well, and I don't doubt that we shall have good results inside here. So it's beautiful. That's how you get, old ladies like this to produce at the maximum production, even with age passing like this. Prevent diseases, give them the correct feed, give them water, make sure the environment is aerated and you have nice air coming in, and then you'll have the perfect results. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, smash the notification bell. That way you never miss out on an upload. Lots of love. Bye-bye.